Hi guys, Joel from Jonesy's here, and today we're going to be doing a how-to on front brakes as well as replacing this front wheel bearing. Stay tuned for that video next. So the tools that you guys are going to need to do this job, there's not that many that you need actually. You need a 15 millimeter socket. I like to use these 6-point wobblies on the impact. You're going to need an 18 millimeter straight and possibly a wobbly, a 19 millimeter to get the upper caliper bolts off, a lug nut socket. This one's a 7/8, a 36 millimeter big socket to get your axle nut off. I'm going to need a T30 Torx bit right there, a couple of screwdrivers, a hammer. Again, I like to use the impact. We got a torque wrench, C-clamp. C-clamp we're going to use to compress the actual calipers, some blue Loctite for the bolts, a little bit of never sees, some side cutters to take some of the clips off, and then either a flashlight or a work light. So that's pretty much going to cover the tools you're going to need to do the hub and the rotor. You wouldn't need all of these tools to do the rotor, so pay attention to that, because this is more in depth than what a regular brake job would entail. So for our actual repair parts, we went to Rotor Depot. I'll put a link to Rotor Depot's website in the description. And we got some really nice drilled and slotted rotors that are zinc plated in silver. Also got some heavy duty OEM style ceramic pads. The finish on these rotors is really good. It's got a nice crosshatch pattern. Also the holes themselves, the drilled holes themselves, are chamfered, and the slots actually go on outside the edge of the rotor. All really nice features that are found only on premium drilled and slotted rotors. Moving on, here's our whole unit bearing hub. We just got this. We sourced this locally just from our local auto parts supply place. Verified the wheel speed sensor connector was compatible with what we currently have. Comes as completely assembled with the studs, everything ready to go. So that's all the components you're going to need for the front brakes as well as the hub. So let's go ahead, get that wheel pulled off, and we'll get a game plan for the remaining nuts and bolts. So now that we've got the wheel off, you can kind of see what we're working with. There's the big 36 millimeter nut. We'll have to pull off right there. There is the Torx that's just holding the rotor to the hub. And hopefully we can come in behind here and you guys can see some of the bolts. So the bolt right here, as well as the other one on top of the caliper, are the 19 millimeters. The actual caliper support bracket, which is right here, is the 18 millimeter, and then the bolts, you can see one right there, there's 3 of them that hold the actual hub to the spindle support. So we're going to go ahead and get all that stuff taken out and get it removed. Now, the other thing is you have your ABS wheel speed sensor wire. So there's a little connector right there, little clamp right there, and then it comes up to the connector up here on top. So this is what you need to confirm that you're getting the right wheel speed sensor hub connector before you order your parts. Those are the 19 millimeter bolts that we took to hold this caliper on. So we'll just pull that caliper up like that. Now we're going to go ahead and take out this bolt and this bolt, which hold this actual caliper bracket on. Those are an 18 millimeter. And they can be pretty darn tight. So when you guys are checking your brakes, you want to make sure that these slides actually slide and move easily, so that you know that your caliper itself will be able to float on there. So go ahead and get that caliper bracket off. And now you have access to take your rotor off. So next step is going to be to take the 3 bolts that actually hold the hub to the spindle support. So we'll go ahead and get those off. These bolts can be very stubborn, so sometimes you have to break them loose with the breaker bar. Now that we've got all of our bolts out of our hub, we're going to just gently move this caliper down. Be careful not to let it dangle too much, and we're going to go ahead and disconnect the actual speed sensor. So you can just take your screwdriver and kind of pry it out of most of its clips. And then up here, you just push that and it comes apart. The new hub actually comes with new securing clips, so you guys can just push those out. Just like that. To come loose. Okay, now we got our caliper dust bracket right there. We'll go ahead and get some of the rust off of our axle shaft. And we have went ahead and gotten some blue Loctite on our bolts. So we'll start getting those kind of started in their slots right here, so they can help kind of hold everything together. It's a good idea to take a rag and clean out your spindle right in here. Make sure there's no debris, and that all of your surfaces are clean. Stick our wiring harness for the wheel speed sensor. Poke that through the caliper bracket. Take some anti-seize and put it on the splines. And then you should just be able to push your hub in place. Started by hand, you can make sure that your wiring harness for your speed sensor comes up here, and we can go ahead and start reinstalling all the clips. Get our bolts snugged up, and then we'll grab the torque wrench and go ahead and torque those to their final torque. Okay, now that we've got our wheel hub bolts torqued on there, we'll go ahead and put our rotor. You're working with the rotor, you want to make sure that you are careful about touching the outsides. So we got our little Torx bolt right here. Put a little bit of NICs on the rotor retaining bolt. Okay, next step is to go ahead and get our caliper bracket reinstalled. These bolts get a little bit of blue Loctite on them. Go ahead and snug these bolts up. Now I'm just snugging these bolts up with the impact, and I'm going back behind and actually torquing everything. I'll post all of the torque specifications for these in the in the actual description of the video. Okay, now it's time for the brake pads themselves. This is the inside pad right here, which the squealer goes up, so that when these get worn down, the squealer will get drugged in that direction, hopefully making noise telling you you're going to need to place your pads. Don't touch this surface with your fingers if you can at all avoid it. Go ahead and do a final clean up on our rotor here. Get any of my fingerprints off. Get both sides. That looks great. We got our pads put in place. Now it is time to compress the caliper pistons so that they will slip over and fit over our new thicker pads. Just take your old pad, set it in place like that. Now they make special caliper compression tools for this, but honestly a good quality C-clamp works pretty well. So you just want to very gently and slowly squeeze this together, and you'll feel it start to compress those pistons. And what'll happen is that that's forcing fluid back up into the master cylinder. So once you get it compressed down like that, you'll be able to take this and slide it back in place. Take our caliper bolts. Get them started, and we are on our home stretch here. Okay, so the last item before the wheel goes back on is our big axle nut. So we're going to go ahead and blast that on with the impact gun, and then once we have the wheel back on and the weight of the vehicle, we'll go ahead and torque that to its final torque. Okay guys, that wraps it up. It's a pretty straightforward, easy job to do your front brakes with some basic tools. Just you got to make sure you double check that you get your axle nut torqued, all 4 of your caliper bolts, as well as the 3 bolts for your wheel hub. Finally, verify that you plugged in your wheel speed sensor. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, ask any questions in the comment section, and contact Rotor Depot for some high performance rotors for your truck. Thanks for watching.